has got to be number one, right? It's got to be, The Simpsons has to be the most famous couch in the history of television.
Hey, where's our sailboat?
Maybe another animated show stole it.
We'll see about that.
Or maybe I sold it on Craigslist.
They built a real-life version of this in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, when people hear Las Vegas, they think of the Strip, but Las Vegas is much bigger than that. And this house was just out in the suburbs. It was kind of weird that they took a house in the middle of a neighborhood. They made it look like the Simpsons house. Then they gave it away on Fox.
If your number matches the number on the screen, you've just won a life-size replica of the Simpsons house.
They also had a replica of the couch in every theater in the United States in 2007 when the Simpsons movie came out. The Brady Bunch had multiple couches, and this is like their den. This was off the kitchen, and then you went out the back door to their astroturfed backyard, where, by the way, they always had the doghouse for Tiger, even though Tiger doesn't appear after like the first season.
What do we say in the ad?
Just say the truth. Say the best dog in the world was lost today, and we want him back.
The actual dog got hit by a car, but they kept the doghouse there. And the reason they did was because one of the lights had fell at one point and burned a hole in the AstroTurf. And they put the doghouse over top of it so they could never get rid of the doghouse. I found the actual ad for those sofas. They don't look like they'd be that comfortable because the backs are so low, but the cushiony part looks great. Now, the Brady Bunch had another couch that was in their living room. I don't know if you saw this, but on television, they took the real Brady Bunch house. They took it and turned it into the Brady Bunch house on the inside, because all of this stuff was shot on a soundstage.
This is amazing!
The Brady house! This is crazy.
One of the things they had to do on that show was recreate this couch.
This one is original. Like, you know, some of it has been recreated, like this sofa, because they couldn't find that fabric.
They mocked up the pattern, mocked up the design, and Marcia Brady approved it, made a whole new couch. Here's a great one, the Three's Company couch. It's like an off-white color. It's got kind of a circular pattern throughout the couch. Very, very smooth 70s looking hip couch. That couch had a much bigger life than just being on Three's Company. It appeared on multiple different TV shows. Here it is on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. You can see Betty White sitting on that couch. And then here's a scene from Maude. I don't know what's going on in the scene. I did not see this episode. And finally, it is in an episode of Sanford and Son when Lamont is in love and Fred Sanford goes to see Lamont's love and sits on the couch from Three's Company. Now, Sanford and Son did have their own couch. This show was based on a British show called Steptoe and Son. So when they brought it to the United States, they needed a new name for the character. Well, Red Fox's real name is John Sanford, and his brother is Fred. He called his brother a junk man because he collected all kinds of stuff. So he said, this is perfect. Fred Sanford is named after Red Fox's real last name and his brother's first and last name. If you ever watch Cheers, there is no couch, obviously, in the main room with the bar, but the office in the back, which was Sam's office for most of the episodes, and then Rebecca took over the bar at one point, and it was her office. Take a look at the couch in Carla's living room. This is my favorite episode of Cheers. This is the Thanksgiving episode. We talked about it on this channel when we reviewed some of the best Thanksgiving specials, and this is high up there. Now here is the set from Happy Days.
Should have been up days ago.
What's wrong with you, Fonzie?
Now here is the show What's Happening. Roger, Rerun, and Dwayne, and then Dee. I love this show. You can see their couch has a blanket over top of it, right over the back of the couch. Now, I grew up, my mother was always like, don't ever do that. Don't ever put a blanket over your couch because then people are going to think you have a hole in your couch. And I said, well, what about if you have a hole in your couch? She was like, well, then you still shouldn't do it because that's, I mean, they'll know immediately. At least if you don't put a blanket over your couch, they won't know until they see the hole. Here is The Cosby Show. There is one of the couches. Now, a lot of these shows, like this one, depict a family that is somewhat upwardly mobile. The Huxtables are rich.
None of this would have happened if we weren't so rich.
Let me get something straight, okay? Your mother and I are rich. You have nothing.
Because you have like a wealthy family, the couch would be swapped out like every season. So here is a later season couch. It's like a suede couch, looks much fancier, much more expensive. There's Al Bundy on his couch. The opposite. This is a couch that was out of date when the show came on TV. The house was out of date. Everything about it was showing that they didn't have the means to afford the newest things. Archie Bunker did have a couch, but oddly, the room was situated with the two chairs, Archie's chair and Edith's chair.
Would you get your little keister out of my chair?
There is a couch, but it's off to the side.
Get out of the chair.
Here's another working class television family. It's the family from Roseanne.
What happened to the original?
The Smithsonian Institute has a real one, and they wanted too much scratch for it.
Is that right?
Here is the Golden Girls couch. This is such a Miami couch, my goodness. Here's Alf. Alf had a couple different couches. This is the blue one, and here's the pink one. Now, the thing about the Alf couch is that set had trap doors and holes in it everywhere. When you see Alf sitting on the couch like that means Paul Fusco's laying inside of the couch. We've gone from the low end all the way up to the high end. We are at the super rich Drummond household. This is a very 90s couch there. The Full House couch has kind of a 90s plaid.
Underneath this couch is what you'd have if your grandmother was sleeping over, a nice piece of wood, because, you know, you got to make sure your back doesn't go out.
I Love Lucy. Now, they had more than one couch because they had more than one apartment. Somehow the Mertzes came along with them when they moved. King of Queens has kind of a run-of-the-mill couch. The producers wanted the set to be small. This is a small house in Queens, and they didn't want this to seem like a giant estate, which most television shows tend to feel like. Good times, and they're having some good times there. Florida getting a big old smooch on the lips. There's JJ in the background. Seinfeld had a whole episode about the couch. I think it's even called The Couch.
Anyway, I'm sorry again about the what?
And then they talk about flipping the cushion. We've all flipped the cushion. I don't know that we all relieved ourselves on the couch, but if a couch had flippable cushions, you always would flip it at some point growing up because somebody colored on it, spilled something on it. I really like the couch on The Odd Couple. Here is the Keaton household. They have kind of a beautiful little luxury couch. I like the Who's the Boss couch because that's the type you could spill a lot of blood on that couch and no one would ever know. Larry and Balky on Perfect Strangers. Larry had a pretty comfortable looking couch. Mork and Mindy. This is another couch with a blanket over. The blanket's always over the couch on that show. Perhaps they had to flip a cushion. Before we go any further, I wanted to show you my couch. This is the couch behind me here in this room in the basement. Pretty small room. This couch used to be the couch in my parents' living room. And growing up, I was not allowed to sit on this couch. So when I got this couch, when my mom said, "Do you want that beautiful couch that no one has ever sat on?" I said, "Yes, and I'm going to let your grandkids draw all over it." This is the Laverne and Shirley couch, and whoa, this couch has one heck of a pattern. The TV show Webster featured the couch at the end of the theme song, almost like the Simpsons. They had more than one couch because they started out in a house and then they moved to an apartment. They did not move their couch to the apartment. They bought all new furniture, a little bit more ramshackle, but well taken care of. It's Henry Warnemont's couch from Punky Brewster. I just like the whole setup of this scene. There's a watermelon on the table. Simpsons is probably number one, but this one might be a close second. It's the couch from the show Friends. They also show the couch in the opening title sequence around the fountain. Now today they've moved the fountain from one lot to another, and so at the current lot it's part of the tour, and they have like a fiberglass couch right in front of it so you can sit and have your picture taken. The Friends fountain is in an episode of Dennis the Menace. Mr. Wilson inadvertently gives Dennis a rare, expensive, valuable coin, and Dennis makes a wish and flicks it into the fountain, so the two of them have to go into the fountain to try to retrieve it. In addition to that, the Waltons filmed with that fountain. The Monkees filmed with that fountain. You may know that it's in the movie Hocus Pocus. I tracked down every time it was in anything. I put them all together for you to check out. The whole history of the Friends fountain. You can check that out over here. Otherwise, YouTube will tell you what is best for you. And you listen to YouTube, listen to your overlords, or listen to me and go see this. Either way, I'm glad you were here. I'll see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock.